Pelicans looking intent on getting a win on the road. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. The John Hancock Tower rising above the bustling city of Boston and its tree-lined streets. It's Saturday night and live on 2K Sports. We've got the excitement of the NBA for you tonight. And tonight, we'll see the New Orleans Pelicans as they go up against the Boston Celtics here in Boston. This is Kevin Harlan along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. David Aldridge will be reporting from the sidelines. A moment now to check out who's leading in the All-Star voting.
And a lot of fans and players interested to see how this thing all turns out.
And you look at Walker. He's got a claim in the final place in the Eastern Conference starting lineup. He's 5th in fan voting.
And it's been a season to remember for him so far. And it'll only get better if he can hang on to that starting spot for All-Star Weekend.
And we'll keep you posted as the voting continues. Yeah, before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Well, last season, the Celtics tried to balance minutes between a talented core of younger players along with their trio of superstar veterans. With the departure of Kyrie Irving and Al Horford, now youth must be served. The question is, how far can that carry them?
And I feel, David, they're still in great position. I know you do too. Thanks for that report. Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. Ingram the 3 and Zion the 4. Ball and Holiday combine at the guard spots. And it's Favors in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for Boston, Walker and Brown, they're manning the backcourt. Hayward at small forward with Tatum at the 4. And it's Tice in at center. A whole new cast of characters for the Pelicans. 3 promising first-round picks, Greg, and the young players acquired from the Lakers and veterans like Favors and Redick.
All of a sudden, a wealth of options for Alvin Gentry. Time will tell how they did in the AD trade, but seems like they're off to a nice start.
Now here's Favors. Shot clock at 6. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Buries it from three-point range.
And Ball has tremendous confidence in that shot. As soon as the pass hits his hands, he's ready to pull up.
Ball against Walker with the shot. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
Now here is Holiday. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against New York. Got a piece of it, taken away by Holiday. And it's Favors that time on the assist by Holiday.
How about Drew Holiday? Unselfish, team-first player. Love that from the guard position.
They get a hand on it. Here's Tatum. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
Yeah, that's not an assignment that I want there, Kevin. I'd rather do math homework than to try and cover that guy.
Ingram outside. The pass to Favors. Over Tice. Goes back up. And that one's good by Favors. Favors has got his second bucket tonight.
And getting after it on the offensive glass and adding to that early total with the putback.
Sometimes guys come in with a great mindset trying to push the action until somebody stops him. Nobody there to do it that time.
Now Williamson. Following the miss by Kemba Walker from deep. And yes, it's good.
I mean, I love the determination with Ball. Always attacking. Does a great job of putting the defense on its heels.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. The Celtics have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Walker against Ball. Shots good by Walker.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Are you asking me, GA? I'm not sure.
Now here's Ball. He's got 5. Here's Holiday. Rebound Boston. They're coming off that win against Philadelphia.
Remarkable consistency from deep. You can't count on that every game, especially on the road.
Yeah, the interesting part was they kept firing away in that game, but the defense didn't make much of an adjustment.
Second chance opportunities. Williamson explosive into the air with the touch and concentration to finish.
Walker the pass to Tice. To the middle. Here's Hayward. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good.
You know, all the way to the bucket. No resistance. Just swipe the candy from him.
Ball with it. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Favors passes to Holiday. Off target with his three. Celtics trail by 3. Brown wide open. He fires. Can't tie it up as that one misses. Inside, Hayward with the ball. Favors picks him up, and here's the fast break. Walker leading the way, and it's denied.
In addition to being superb on offense, Ingram is also a ridiculously good defender. His long reach really allowing him to collect a good number of block shots.
Gives the team such a great element having a one guard who can get to the 10.
Certainly something every team wants to have.
Like to see that assertiveness, especially from the guy who's going to orchestrate your offense.
The shot by Holiday, no good. And so Brown will bring it up for the Celtics. It's a 5-point game. They double team Walker. Hayward from outside. Boston again missing. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. On the wing, Holiday. To the inside. Here's Ingram, and Hayward with the block. And it's Brandon Ingram with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. The Celtics have gone 4 for 9 from the field to start this game off.
The second overall pick back in 2016, Brandon Ingram has shown us flashes. But whether it's defense or offense, still a ways to go.
And now the first timeout called here for Boston. And Greg, when you talk about Ingram, where would you look for him to make the next step in his game?
Well, in that one season at Duke, he did shoot over 40% from 3. I think becoming a reliable shooter from out there would be a key building block offensively.
For 3, Hayward, and it's Williamson with the rebound. Williamson's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Holiday dishes to Favors. Oh, and he plucks it off the glass. Wow.
He's not very hard to defend right now. This is when the defense might step back and let him try to find his range.
And using good instincts, Tatum gets buckets. His game is polished.
Now here's Ball. He's got 7. Holiday left side. Shoots over Brown. Holiday gets the bucket.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Brown outside. And the rejection by Favors. Ingram right side. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Tatum passes to Walker. Pulls up. High post. Derek Favors with the rebound. Pelicans leading by 4. Ingram attacking. And the shot goes in.
Yeah, that's the 3rd bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle.
Here's Brown. He's coming off a 19-point game against the 76ers in Philadelphia. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there. As we approach the halfway mark, let's take a look at how everything in the East right now stands. Taking a look at Boston. They're in the middle at 5th in the conference, looking to build on the wins as the season goes on.
And you know, for the Celtics, this hasn't been the breakout season that many were predicting, but they're still very much in the hunt for a high postseason seed, and that will keep them focused here during the season's final stages.
Well, the goal is very defined. They have to have a strong finish to the season and make sure they get home court advantage for at least the first few rounds of the playoffs.
Outside, Walker. Count that one. Walker's got 6.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Outside Holiday. Pass to Williamson. With the fadeaway. Rebounded by the Celtics. Getting their first look of the season at this Pelicans team.
Yeah, an interconference matchup, and these are two teams at different ends of the spectrum as far as the talent is concerned.
And some changes here for the Celtics. Williams, he's checked in for Daniel Tice, and Smart subbed in for Gordon Hayward. Pelicans on D. They lead by 4. Some changes for Boston. Enes Kanter comes in for Jaylen Brown. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Kemba Walker. Here's Tatum. Offensive rebound. Kanter. And foul on the shot. So he'll get a chance at the line. It's on Jahlil Okafor.
And this is what he's worked on. As Kanter has become a more polished inside scorer, he's been drawing more fouls.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off. Well, the book, Greg, is the same for Enes Kanter as it's always been. Great score inside, but his defense leaves you wanting.
And Kevin, at this point, he is who he is. I mean, for better or worse. Kanter is still a force off the bench to give a team some post presence in their second unit, but not sure he'll ever be a player to build around.
Brett, so many guys are now shooting from well beyond the arc. Who do you think has the deepest range in the league?
I think Steph Curry has the most consistent, deepest range.
Lillard is in that category.
Lillard is in there, and of course, last year's playoff win will never go away in terms of what a great memory that was. Trae Young is now entering that category, Kevin.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw that at the end of last year. His fearlessness in pulling up from just about anywhere has been pretty remarkable. And to that, I will add one Brook Lopez, who has found his way well beyond the three-point line.
He's a whole nother conversation.
We'll talk about him later.
We'll do that. That misses, so he splits the free throws.
And of course, in 2015, Kanter signed that enormous max contract, 4 years and $70 million. I think a lot of that investment is in his improvement in his outside shooting.
Williams with the block, and he's able to get it back. Another shot. Here's Hayes. Excellent D from Kanter.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
Now here's Smart. He had 10 points in the win against Philadelphia. Outside Tatum. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Boston needs to get off a shot. Kanter with it. Now guarded by Redick. And that one is good.
Good touch on the jumper, especially from mid-range. Kanter hits a high percentage of those shots.
New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Now here's Redick. 9 points last game. And stolen by Tatum. Now the fast break. Tatum with the ball. And slam dunk by Tatum.
And how about the quick hands there by Tatum? Terrific anticipation as he comes up with that steal and able to convert that defense into offense.
A lot of defenders choose to just back up off of him when he's in that tight, try to avoid the and one, and this time they're not backing off.
And so here is New Orleans. Jason Tatum missing his last shot. To the middle, stolen by Kanter. Here's Wanamaker, still looking for his first bucket in this one. All alone. Okafor grabs the miss. The Pelicans trail. And he lobs it up toward the rim, trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Pass to Tatum. He feeds it to Williams. Back to Tatum. Okafor with the steal. And it's more penetrating. Can't connect from short range. And so it's Smart. He'll bring up the ball for the Celtics. Tatum's shot is off.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Tatum against Redick. Pass to Moore. To end the cold streak. Rebound Boston. Cantor's got 4 rebounds in this game. Tatum wide open. He fires one. Drops in the tray off the fast break. Tatum's got 10 points in the game.
Oh, great ball movement there.
And first time out of the game called for New Orleans. They are coming into this having notched a win against the Knicks in their last game.
And really showed their depth when they needed it most. On the road, having to manufacture points.
Yeah, and watching that, all kinds of contributions and just little things that guys were doing to chip in for that win.
And a brief check of the stats for Williams. A strong stretch of play the last 10 games. He's right around 5 points a night, 10 rebounds, and just over 2 blocks. And he's done his share of the work for the team, definitely making an impact.
Well, the numbers, if you look at them, impressive all the way around, and he's not letting the team down.
It's deflected. Here's the break. Here's Wanamaker, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
We've got 1:18 left in the first quarter. Here's Moore. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
Well, this is when you start to talk about Redick not just always looking for offense, clearly looking for teammates there.
Celtics leading by 5. Wanamaker looking over the floor. Here's Cantor. And Okafor with the block. Hart the pass to Moore. There's 49 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Hart, guarded by Smart. Clock at 6, and he's good on the 3 ball. Now just a 2-point Celtic lead.
Etuan Moore has shown some signs of being a lethal threat from the outside.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jahlil Okafor. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2. Boston shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And Cantor drops them both. There's 31 seconds left in the first quarter. Now Redick. He's still scoreless so far in this one. The pass to Okafor. Over Cantor. And it's Okafor missing. And here's Smart. Feeds it to Tatum. And he uses the glass on the layup. Tatum's got 12.
Shifty, elusive offensively. Tatum's scoring potential is through the roof.
It'll count. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so the first quarter is in the books. Celtics lead by 6. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Gordon Hayward reunited with his college coach Brad Stevens. He said they go way back.
Our relationship started when I was in high school. He came to my morning workouts and really recruited me at Butler and was kind of the first guy that I think believed in me that I could make it to the next level.
And I'm sure, Greg, that relationship played a big role in Hayward deciding to join the Boston Celtics.
And not just a connection, but a respect. Hayward now a veteran in this league while Stevens has moved into the conversation for one of the better young coaches in our league.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And what do you guys think about Boston here in this one?
Well, credit their anticipation skills on the defensive end. They forced a number of turnovers.
Just playing some real gritty defense right now. Just getting up in bodies and forcing a lot of turnovers.
Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. Okafor out there with Hayes. Then there's J.J. Redick. Then there's Etuan Moore. And it's Hart in at the 2. And that one falls for Williams. The defensive rules were different when you played, Brent. For example, the elimination of the hand check.
Hand checking was huge because great defensive guards like a Derek Harper or a Mookie Blaylock could get their forearm on you and basically move you around rather than you trying to get where you want to go. And the other thing, Kevin, that they did was they didn't allow you to have the time in the free throw line. You have a 2.9 before an illegal defense. It used to be a game really of 2 stars on one side of the floor operating, and the rest of the guys sort of shoveled off in the corner on the other side. All those things have changed with the way the league has gone.
For the better.
Oh, I think so. Your freedom of movement, fluidity of the athletes. It's definitely a better game in terms of the movement.
And so Wanamaker will bring it up for the Celtics. 6-point game. Pass to Canner. Redick with the rebound.
That might not be the shot they want him taking, even with the D backing off.
Stolen by Smart. Over in the corner, Williams. Back to Smart. Passes it to Wanamaker. Just 5 to shoot. It's deflected. Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in. Pass to Moore. Okafor against Cantor. Okafor dishes to Moore. Out to the wing. Here's Hart. That 3 off the mark. Celtics leading by 6. Here's Tatum. And slam dunk by Tatum.
And how about that show of confidence from Tatum? He really excels at playing above the rim and taking that one home.
Redick surveying the D. The pass to Okafor. The feed to Moore. Over Tatum. And the Pelicans miss again. The Celtics have gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Here's Smart. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Timeout called here. The Pelicans decide to talk it over. Well, guys, you talk about players coming in and with a huge impact. Jason Tatum showed he was more than ready to be an NBA star.
Rare do you see a player as polished and as impactful as Tatum. Stepped right in to be one of the top players on a top team with Boston. Fits their system perfectly, and really the sky is the limit for that young man.
And a whole new group out on the floor for the Celtics. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for him.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Now, here's Ball. 7 points in the game. He kicks to Ingram. Pass to Holiday. Now, Williamson. He's covered by Brown. Holiday with the 3. And Boston with the rebound. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. And here's the upcoming schedule for New Orleans. On Monday, they continue the road trip, heading out to Detroit. They'll take on the Pistons. Then on Thursday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz.
And looking at the Grizzlies matchup, there aren't many other meetings that are as evenly matched as this one. Both teams can give and take punches, and this one, I think, is going to come down to the wire.
Celtics leading by 8. Walker looking for an opening. Brown the pass to Hayward. Six on the shot clock. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Great D that time from Favors. Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
Pelicans shooting their first free throws here tonight.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
No good on the free throw. We're just halfway through the season. Brent, talk about the value of leadership and keeping everyone focused night in and night out.
A lot of that will come from your coaching staff and the messaging, but I will tell you what, Kevin, playing with a star player that goes out there and does it night after night, watching James Harden, watching Russell Westbrook, watching Steph Curry, have the kind of unreal performances for the game 56, the game 68. You're just sitting there in amazement. You want to step up and say, you know what, I want to be there for you.
But to me, that may be the most important. Like every game they're there. Like every single game.
They are there. They're excited to be there. They're excited for you to be playing, and they raise the level of your attentiveness to being competitive on a nightly basis. And truly, those guys become inspirational to you.
Now here is Holiday after Gordon Hayward's miss. And here's Ingram from the arc. And so it's Walker with it, who brings it up for the Boston Celtics. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. Brown the pass to Poirier. That shot misses. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. They've got the Pistons ahead of them in their next game in Detroit. That'll be the last game of their very short 3-game road tour. Here's Williamson, and he overshot that one, missing.
He may not be the strongest inside presence in the league, but still, he's got to convert from there.
Frozen. The guy is just ice cold, unable to contribute offensively.
Now here's Ingram. A 17-point game for him in the win against New York.
Yeah, but all around offensively, the performance was great. He knew when he had it going, but he also knew he could get other guys going. So his passing right up there on the level with his scoring in that one.
Now here's Brown. Zion Williamson unable to get his last shot to go. Brown finds Walker. They need this one. And it's Ingram with the rebound.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style points. And that one falls for Favors. Celtics leading by 4. Outside, Walker. Hayward outside. Brown with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Poirier, no good.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage.
Ball with the bucket.
I'm a fan of how Ball uses that size inside. Excellent at getting his shot off close to the basket.
So it's Boston now. Outside, Walker. And the call will be against Lonzo Ball. That is his first foul of the game. Tice passes to Poirier. Hayward on the wing. He had 13 points in the win against Philadelphia.
And he passed the ball so well in that game, keeping everybody involved, even as he was racking up all those points.
And here is Ball after Gordon Hayward hitting the 3. On the wing, Holiday. That falls. Nice feed that time from Ball. Holiday's got 5 now.
Well, nice three-point shot there. You just knew Holiday wanted to even the score.
Walker against Ball. Outside, Walker passes to Hayward. Takes the three. And it's Williamson with the rebound. Williamson's got his 5th rebound in this one.
If you told me this was the kind of game he was going to have, I would not have expected them to be in front right now.
Pelicans shooting their 4th shot at the foul line here. Free throw is good, now leading by 1.
And guys, really no ceiling on Ingram. This is a guy who has the potential to be a truly great player before it's all done.
Ball, the pass to Favors. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And these are his 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
And that one falls for Favors. So he hits both.
As we've gotten closer to halftime, their style has become more and more physical.
Walker against Ball. And stolen by Favors. Their offense has been great here.
Yeah, the ball movement has been terrific, and they've kept the defense off balance.
Ball kicks to Holiday. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Well, Drew Holiday and his brother Justin had some hard-fought games in the driveway. I know a little bit about that. We never ever finished those games, Kevin. Too much fighting going on. And by the end of it, both Drew and Justin Holiday find themselves in the NBA.
Pelicans shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. Free throw, no good. And Brent, that fierce, competitive nature for Drew Holiday, still there to this day.
There's so much talk from his coach, Alvin Gentry, about Drew working himself constantly to exhaustion, just continuing to push the limits. And you sit at his locker, take a long shower, he doesn't want to move till his body recovers. He knows how important this game is to him and how important now he is to the Pelican franchise moving forward.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, one of the things that the NBA has been forward-thinking about is always accepting new ideas. And they've got a bunch of them on the table in recent weeks. A mid-season tournament, a postseason play-in tournament, maybe even reducing the 82-game regular season schedule. Now, all of these would be very bold moves, but Commissioner Adam Silver has always demonstrated a willingness to think outside the box. Kevin?
DA, great assessment, good report. Thank you so much. And it's the Pelicans with the ball, following the bucket by the Celtics. On the wing, Holiday. And another three for New Orleans.
Yeah, he couldn't connect on anything from outside in the first quarter, but now he's hit 2 threes in the second quarter, and he looks much better.
Now, here's Tice. He's been patient so far, nothing on the scoreboard yet.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Here's Ball, and Ball slams it in.
And Ball being aggressive there with his penetration, seizing on any open space to get to the basket.
Celtics trail by 7. Now, here's Walker. He's coming off a 28-point game against Philadelphia. Here's Hayward. And it's Ingram with the rebound. Ingram's got 5 rebounds tonight.
Time for some consideration in the passing category, maybe, Kevin. The shot is just not on. Get somebody else going.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
And they're allowing too many points in the paint. Coach is going to let them hear about it.
Yeah, coach knows that. They know that. In the timeout, they're going to hear about it, make the adjustment.
So it's both teams making substitutions here.
Let's look at the stats for Jason Tatum.
He's one of the standouts over the last month. He's averaging 15 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists.
And very few players in the league can go out and produce like he has. Just a great stretch for him.
He keeps playing like this, and you know, in arenas, especially at home, when the star player is playing this well, those MVP chants come raining down.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
Now here's Williams. He had 10 points in the win against the 76ers in Philadelphia.
I'm not sure in that game if it was him or Dikembe Mutombo out there, guys. I was just hoping to see one finger wave after one of those 4 blocks. No, 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 not today.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line. That's on Enes Kanter.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. The Pelicans have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8. Brad Wanamaker's checked in for the Celtics. Here's Wanamaker. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. Pass to Kanter. Moore against Tatum. Back to Kanter. Moore with the steal. Now here's Redick, the fast break opportunity. And he's going up for the alley-oop.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Here's Wanamaker. 1:29 left in the first half. Here's Kanter. Goes to the fadeaway and cans it. Kanter's got 8 points.
With a number of go-to moves and a soft touch, Kanter can crush you inside.
Poked away. Holiday, the pass to Moore. Shoots from the block. He can't get it to go. Excellent D from Kanter. In the corner, Smart with it. Pelicans with the rebound. Okafor's got his 5th rebound in this one. And the wide open shot from Redick. The offensive rebound. Back to Holiday. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Nice shot by Smart.
For a guy who's still working on his range, love to see Smart attacking on the interior.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. It's Redick on the wing. Back to Holiday. And he floats in for the easy two. Credit the assist on that one.
He has gotten into a great rhythm here in this quarter, playing with just bundles of confidence.
Here's Wanamaker. The baseline jam. That one falls. Wanamaker's got his second bucket of the night. Holiday with the three, and he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. Drew Holiday has been on display for the New Orleans Pelicans, setting up teammates and getting buckets. He is looking as determined as ever. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Alvin Gentry. Coach, you're leading at the half. What will you continue to emphasize to your team?
Well, I mean, defensively, we still have to be good. We got to rebound the basketball. And then we've got to continue to push the basketball and score offensively.
We'll see if you can keep that going in the second half, Coach. Thanks. Back to you.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every one of you watching at this very moment. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Shaq is here. One half is behind us. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. What a game it's been for Drew Holiday. He ended up with 15 points, 5 assists, and 1 steal. He has bounced back nicely from what was a tough night for him in their last game. Judging by that first half, he's back to his old self again. What did you think, Shaq, about New Orleans?
Well, a guy who's gone from really good to a star, Drew Holiday. He can beat you with physicality. He can beat you with the quickness. And guess what? He's a terrific shot maker. All of which he showed in the first half.
Kenny, how'd you think the Celtics were playing?
Their three-point shooters struggle to get into a rhythm. It's a mental thing. You start clanking them, and your teammates start. It's contagious. Now, percentage-wise, shooting in the low 30s, it's not horrific, but it's not great. And they have to improve their accuracy from deep in the second half, or they're going to have a hard time coming back.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half, about to get underway.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. An exceptional performance from Drew Holiday.
Yeah, something that isn't his strength, but he's done a great job of finding the open man.
Well, if we were grading playmaking today, it's an A+ from him.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court right now for the Celtics, Brown and Hayward, they're the wings. Tatum out there with Daniel Tice, and it's Walker in at the point guard.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Here's Walker. There's the pass to Tice. Now Walker. A shot by Hayward, wide open, off target from three-point range.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And yeah, he's 280 pounds. We've never seen anyone hang in the air like this young man. Williamson is special.
Walker against Ball. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Brown against Holiday. And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. It's blocked. And Derek Favors picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Celtics trail by 16. Moves on moves. Greg, that's Jason Tatum.
I mean, this guy's a natural isolation scorer. Jab steps, crossovers, turnarounds, fadeaways. He's got an awful lot in his bag.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Over a minute and a half into the third quarter of action. Tipped away. There's Walker with the three. Boston again missing.
Ouch. 5 shots without a make. That's a really ragged start coming out of halftime.
Here's Ball. Holiday. And Holiday is right there. Holiday's got 17 now.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Brown the pass to Hayward. Back to Brown. And denied. He sends it right off the glass.
I hate to say it, but if they're still trailing at the final buzzer, a lot of this is going to be felt by him. His shooting tonight has just been atrocious.
And how about the deceptive strength of Ingram, just willing his shots in over the defense?
This will be his 4th shot at the line in this one.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as he'd like.
Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Now a timeout called by Boston. One of the stories here, Drew Holiday getting it done today.
Well, they got to be using this timeout to think about a personnel change or a game plan change to try to slow him down.
Let's take a look at the 2K leaderboard to find out who the best defenders have been over the past month. Here are your steals leaders. Lonzo Ball 3rd.
Really been fantastic defensively this run for him. He's had more than his share of steals, and now he's looking to get more.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Here's Hayward. Hayward is doubled. Back to Tice. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. They get Derek Favors. The Celtics have shot 75% at the stripe, 6 of 8. First one falls for him. And he can't hit the second.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yep, that one goes. 13 points for Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
And here is Brown. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Now here's Brown. Hayward, left side. Boston, no good that time either.
That's a shot right there. He's going to hit 9 times out of 10. We just saw the 10% he doesn't make.
And stolen by Hayward. They break it out, 5 on 3. And he drops in the layup off the glass. That's 10 points for Kemba Walker.
Yeah, that's one way to get back into this game. Keep getting him the ball and let him make the shots.
Holiday looking for an opening. It's Ingram on the wing. A shot missing. Hayward with some nice D. Here's Brown. And off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Brown's got his second bucket of the night. New Orleans leading by 20. It's Ingram on the wing. Back to Ball. The three. The rebound by the Celtics. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. And that will be the middle game of this three-game homestand.
Well, his shooting this quarter has to be a huge concern, especially when they're behind like this. Can he find a rhythm?
Yep, it counts.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Here's Walker. He's got 10.
Watch Walker.
Pass to Tice. Outside Tatum. And stolen by Williamson. And now the Pelicans on the break. Ball with the bucket.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Here's Walker. Some stats for him. He averages over 21 points a game. He dishes it to Brown. Hayward kicks to Brown. Great D that time from Favors.
Maybe there are ways to contribute that don't involve shooting the basketball. That's the best way that maybe he can help them out in trying to win this game.
And Ball sets up his teammates when they're open, quick to whip it around. One of the best ball movers in the league.
And so it's Walker with it, who brings it up for the Boston Celtics. Passes it to Tatum. From 13, it's not going to go for him. And New Orleans will come the other way. Throws it up high and finished off by Williamson.
Well, part of their game plan was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
Always a good sign of maturity and steps forward when you can take this kind of effort, focus, and concentration on the road to get a win.
And the foul on Drew Holiday. That is his first foul of the game. Hart, he's checked in for Drew Holiday. Walker with it. 10 points for him. Unable to get that one. Walker against Ball. A beautiful reverse layup. Ball's got 17.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Coaching staff probably most proud of the effort of this team on both ends of the floor here tonight.
Now a timeout called by Boston.
Timeout.
And how much fun is it to watch this kid? I call Zion Williamson a kid, even though he goes about 280, and he has a certain composure that really belies his years.
Robert Williams, he's checked in for the Celtics. Smart comes in for Gordon Hayward. The Pelicans also changing it up. Hayes comes in for Derek Favors. And J.J. Redick is subbed in for Lonzo Ball. Kicks to Brown. Walker goes in. Pass to Poirier. They need this. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
All the energy is on the other side right now, and every miss just makes it worse.
Well, the other team is scorching hot, and they come down on this end and can't find a way to get the embers going.
And everything is dropping for them. Terrific second half run.
Well, with the confidence growing, that's one thing, but they seem to be getting more intense, and that's helping the quality of their play here.
Now here's Brown. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And with Williamson, it's not just the obvious stuff that impresses you, Greg. It's the little things as well, the attention to detail.
You know, Kevin, one thing that stands out to me, every time I see this young man, the eye-hand coordination, whether it's on steals, deflections, block shots, he always seems to pick it cleanly.
Free throw good from Brown.
And the vertical that Brown has is pretty impressive, as relentless a finisher as you'll find in our league.
Cantor checked in for Boston. Brad Wanamaker comes in for Walker. And Brown drops them both. Now here's Ingram. He's got 9. Dishes it to Redick. And the pass to Williamson. 5 on the clock. The shot by Redick, no good.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Pass to Wanamaker. Fires for 3. Hits the three-point bomb. Wanamaker's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
That's pretty much not how they want to defend the three-point line. Somebody's got to shadow him out there.
Outside, Redick passes it to Williamson. Back to Redick. Launches a 3. Sinks the three-pointer. Redick's got himself going with the triple, his 1st basket of the game.
Nice answer back there. Love to see the competitiveness.
Yeah, both teams finding ways to the three-point line and trying to take advantage from distance.
Here's Wanamaker. He's got 7. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And we always talk about getting good looks. Here's who's doing the best of it in the NBA. The 4th spot held by Zion Williamson.
And just so reliable offensively. It's one thing to find good looks, but you've got to finish when you get them, and he does at a fantastic rate.
No good on that one. He hits the 2nd from the line. There are many players now signing shorter contracts in free agency. You've talked about this a lot. Does it make it harder or easier for the super teams?
Well, I think it makes it easier because all of a sudden a star player from another team becomes available that you could latch him on to somewhere else.
Any examples you could throw out there? That
I don't want to get into the specifics
okay,
of it.
I understand.
I think we've seen it over the past 3 or 4 years with some of our star guys. And
yes.
I don't fault them because they're getting smarter. Players are a lot smarter about what it is that they can do with having the very few times, Kevin, that you have a say in your career as to where it is that you're going to play. And more importantly, the potential for what it is that financially you can make.
And playing for a championship.
For a championship, for potentially the opportunity to play with somebody who you've always thought you could either elevate their play or they could elevate yours. This is not going away anytime soon.
Very rare for players to be elite defenders from the moment they set foot in the NBA, but that was the case for Marcus Smart. A tremendous physicality to go with a pit bull disposition has made him downright scary at times at that end of the floor.
First free throw is good. You know, Greg, defense are given for Marcus Smart. The growth necessary for him has been at the offensive end.
And now finally making progress as a three-point shooter. Had already made strides with his passing. He's becoming quite the two-way player.
Catching up on the changes for New Orleans. Okafor comes in for Williamson. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Ingram.
And some of what Smart gives this team doesn't always show up in the stat sheet, but he makes plays that help you win.
New Orleans moving it around. Here's Hart. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Redick for three. Trains the three-pointer.
One of the best at moving without the ball. Catch and shoot opportunity for J.J. Redick.
Boston's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Smart deciding where to go with it. Poked loose. Here's Hart, guarded by Smart. Hart the pass to Hayes, stolen by Smart. Pass to Cantor. There's the dish to Brown. In the corner, Smart with it. 6 to shoot. There's the triple. Okafor grabs the miss. New Orleans has gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that teams are more aware of in the age of analytics is the importance of sleep. And those teams are making adjustments. Morning shoot-arounds have been moved in some cases to the afternoon or eliminated altogether. There are many fewer teams that are taking red-eye flights across country. And some teams even give players orange-tinted glasses to encourage them to sleep. There's a lot of work to be done in this field, but the direction is clear.
Continuing to evolve. All right, David, thank you. And here's Redick following Jaylen Brown's three. And there's the pass to Hart, stolen by Smart, all alone, and slam dunk by Smart.
Terrific steal. Smart doesn't take a lot of chances, but knows when to pick his spots.
Here's Hart. No points in the game yet for him. Here's Okafor. And that one hits back iron.
Well, mid-range is where he makes the money. So when the D's slow to get out on him, always surprising to see him miss from there.
New Orleans has gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15. Pass to Hayes. We've got 33 seconds left in the third.
And not quite as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. Sticking to the high percentage shots, playing smart with the lead.
And so Wanamaker will bring it up for Boston. Pass to Williams. Back to Wanamaker. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Wanamaker's got 10.
Disappointing as a player to have such a great game and still be trailing. Not over yet, though.
Outside, Redick. Now Moore. There's the three. Can't get it to fall. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans in complete command. Their lead at 28 points going into the break. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. We've got more in store for you right after this. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, Greg, is peripheral vision.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. The Pelicans shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. Setting the floor now for the Pelicans. They've got each one more. Okafor out there with Hart. And it's Melly in at power forward. Shots good by Alexander Walker.
Now, there are only a few players in the league who can hit a teammate like that in stride. Beautiful assist.
Here's Langford. Pass to Canner. He kicks it to Williams. Something Commissioner Silver has mentioned, Brent, the possibility of a mid-season tournament. You ever see that happening?
It'd be interesting to see if that idea grows some legs here, Kevin, and adopting what it is that in soccer leagues in Europe have done for many years, because teams hone in on what those individual cups mean and the competition raises, and you earn something for the end of the year. If Commissioner Silver can find a way to get that done, it becomes very intriguing, instead of an all-star weekend, to have teams gather for a mid-season tournament with something on the line. Elevated competition.
Well, kids play that in high school. They play that in the college level. It would make sense that it could fit in the NBA as well.
It'd be interesting, and especially halfway through the year, to reinvigorate your fan base with something like that, I think would be great.
Good point. And he makes the first. And he makes both free throws. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Here's Alexander Walker. Now the pass to Moore. Here's Okafor. And here is Moore. Just 5 on the clock. Fade away. Poirier grabs the miss.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for them.
Wanamaker misses.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing. And how high can you fly? I mean, he finishes that one with some pop.
GA after getting loose in the lane with a scintillating move. Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Pass to Williams. From 17 feet out, Boston again missing.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Melly passes to Alexander Walker. Brent, a lot of teams are paying that luxury tax, and that is a tough thing for a lot of owners to swallow. Is this the best method to deter teams from going over the cap and overspending and outspending smaller markets?
You're hitting the nail on the head, Kevin, because there are some teams, as much as you said it's tough for some teams to swallow, there are other teams that never see that pill.
Right.
And they're willing to go as far as they need to go in order to put a championship team on the floor. It seems to be working, but the question you have for me, was it a deterrent right now? I don't know if it's as significant as it needs to be. We know the repeater tax certainly hurts some teams, but there are still teams that are willing to spend, Kevin. That's really tough on small market teams who want to avoid that at all costs.
New Orleans making a switch here. Miller's checked in. And the Celtics with possession here.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Passes it to Langford. Again, the miss by the Celtics.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
Yep, that one goes in there.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
Yeah, feels like Christmas right now, just gift wrapping points.
Here's Ojale. And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Langford dishes to Williams. Nice ball movement by Boston. Hart the pass to Alexander Walker.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
And the gamble paying off.
For Boston, they've gotten off to a rough start in the fourth quarter here, going 0 for 4 so far. Here's Wanamaker. Here's Hart. The shot misses. Now Boston takes it the other way. Over to the left wing. Here's Langford. Offensive struggles continue, missing again. The Pelicans have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Here's Hart. A lot of missing stats from the 60s and 70s, but if we could go back and look at those actual numbers, any players you think would really be catching our eye in terms of, wow, I didn't know that guy was that good, or he's better than I thought he was?
Well, don't we always look at the incredible, mind-boggling numbers of Will Chamberlain
yes,
and think, what was that guy doing?
Yeah.
And we don't even have half of it.
No.
So Will Chamberlain comes to mind first. What I think about Kevin when that question comes up is how many great players through the 70s and also really through the 80s, because the three-point line wasn't accentuated enough, missed the opportunity to be even greater scorers. I mean, Jerry West with a three-point line.
Can you imagine that?
You got to be kidding me. So there's a lot of gap with those players, too, that also because of changes in rules and because the three-point line wasn't in, that we would be talking about in terms of nostalgia and their accomplishments with a much different voice.
Even someone as recent as Jordan, with the rules the way they are now.
Absolutely.
Be unbelievable.
With the openness of the floor and what Michael could do, as if he wanted to prove he could do more.
Exactly. Now, here's Langford. Sweet little floater.
Not lacking any confidence down there. Just give Langford the ball and let him do his thing.
Here's Alexander Walker. Here's Hart. And the Pelicans miss again. Celtics have gone just 1 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. Here's Wanamaker. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Hart's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's Alexander Walker. Good D by Williams. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Traditionally, that's how you want to finish the break, right at the rim.
Yeah, anything other than a layup in that situation, probably disappointing. Had numbers, took advantage.
Here's Hart after the basket by Boston. Miller, and he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Well, that's how you draw it up right there. A screen to shed the defense, a quick move to the bucket, and you get the lay-in.
Langford dishes to Williams. Pass to Ojale. Fires the 3. That shot off. So the Pelicans will take it the other way. Hart kicks to Miller. Inside. Here's Melly. The shot comes out. Nice D from Williams. You know, Brent, something other major sports do, receding during the playoffs. So the highest seeds always will play the lowest seeds. And do you think the NBA should go down that road?
I think the consideration will still be there. I think that conversation is going to happen over the course of the next 2 or 3 years. I don't see it changing in that time, Kevin, but it's healthy to continue the dialogue to the point where maybe we do get there.
Here's Wanamaker. Excellent D there from Okafor.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
Here's Wanamaker, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And you see Langford's ability as a facilitator. Great court awareness.
Yeah, sometimes in a game you settle a little bit before settling in, and right now I think he's a big factor in how they're getting to the line.
Kicks to Miller. The pass to Hart. Here's Melly. Shot clock at 6. The 3 ball. Rebounded by the Celtics.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
And that one drops for him.
Now that basket must be widening out right now, Kevin. He's making almost every shot he's putting up this quarter.
Here's Alexander Walker. Here's Melly. Back to Hart. Ball's knocked loose. Langford with the steal. And up the court come the Celtics on the break. It's deflected, and he gets it back. And Wanamaker gets it to go.
This isn't a tough case to crack. If they want to put an end to this run, they'll need to start getting back on D.
Here's Alexander Walker. Okafor with the ball. Pass to Alexander Walker. Got a piece of it. Langford has the open look. Good on the triple. Langford's got 9 points now in the quarter.
And this is where Langford can really improve as a jump shooter. Off the catch, looking really good on that one.
Here's Alexander Walker. Over to the wing. Here's Melly. He's guarded by Williams. Alexander Walker passes to Okafor. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target.
Nice delivery there. You can't hesitate when a man comes free on the perimeter. He got it, went right into the shot.
The Celtics on offense. They're on a 14-4 run right now. Williams looking over the floor. Passes it to Langford. Brent, a few players now host podcasts, participate with those elements, with those vehicles during the season. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic for our fan base and for our players to have an outlet, to have conversations and share a little bit more about their personality. It grows them as people, I think, Kevin, especially I've listened to J.J. Redick's many times over,
yes.
And you learn something new, not only about players, but about their interests and how they're spending time. And I think if you were a young player, let's say you were a high school senior and you're a college player and you're listening to some of the things that guys are talking about in their experiences, I think it's invaluable for what it is that you don't know exists around a player in the NBA, and for you to start having considerations about how difficult the task is, how mentally taxing. So these things are great outlets for the players.
Both shots good from the stripe.
And I just watched Romeo Langford. And guys, he looks the part in every way. Big, smooth, great change of direction, and he can flat out score.
Now here's Okafor. Takes a 3. Hart, no good.
Having a hand up in your face makes such a difference to a shooter.
Yeah, as good as you can do without getting a block there to defend.
And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. And talking about Langford's ability to put up points, he has that popular step-back jumper, Greg, that's so difficult to defend.
Yeah, and you immediately think of James Harden, but a lot of guys use that step back. The one thing Langford does well, he gets to the rim where he can use all that length.
And the first one at the line is good. Brent, you know, the NBA not the only league with great players and great play. Talk about some of the other prominent leagues around the world. There's some terrific competition.
There's some great competition overseas in the Turkish leagues. Some very good players that play in the Russian league. There are some great players who are coming out of Australia, and we're actually seeing players now skip playing in the G League to go down to Australia to start their development and professional careers. So when we talk about the world game, Kevin, we're not joking around. It's a very real thing, and we continue to invite the best players that we can find, and they come from all over.
Here's Melly. Here's Alexander Walker. Finds himself wide open and drills it. Alexander Walker's got 8 points here in this quarter. Here are the Celtics with the ball. They're on an 18-6 run. Now, here's Langford. The 10-footer. Rebound by Alexander Walker.
And when he's this close, he's got to make it. The defense was pretty good, but just shouldn't miss that.
Here's Melly. 9 feet out. It's hauled in by Wanamaker. Wanamaker's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Here's Ojale. Connects from three-point range. Ojale's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. New Orleans leading by 23. Miller outside. Here's Melly. He's guarded by Williams. Launches it. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jahlil Okafor. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2. A platoon swap here for New Orleans. .146 left in the game. Walker against Ball. Walker the pass to Tice. For so long, the U.S. has been the country to beat in international basketball play. But there are some big-time challengers around the globe emerging.
Well, Serbia and Spain continue to be competition that the U.S. takes extremely seriously. And I'm not saying they don't take everybody that they step on the floor against with tremendous amount of respect. We know from years in the past that Argentina had its golden age with the players around Manu Ginobili and Oberto and Nocioni, but that seemed to be a timing thing for the Argentinian national team. Spain and Serbia will continue to be impressive and continue to push USA basketball in these international tournaments and Olympic play.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Williams, he's checked in for Daniel Tice. Semi Ojeleye comes in for Jason Tatum. Langford's checked in for Gordon Hayward. And Brad Wanamaker subbed in for Brown. Takes the turnaround J. That's no good. It's his 2nd miss. He's made 4.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Pelicans.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
So looking at the season total, this will be their 17th win.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, it felt like there was more than one of him out there tonight. He was involved on every possession, and he made his presence felt in so many ways.
And Walker kicks to Williams. From outside, off the mark. Miller surveying the floor. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Derek. Congrats on the win. I know the season can be a grind, but it looked like you guys were having fun out there.
Oh, it's fun, man. It's always fun to win. I'm just coming out here playing my game. Rebound and defense, that's my game. And coach trusts me, so I couldn't let him down.
Yes, this is an up-and-coming team, and you guys really showed well tonight. Congrats, Derek. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you later.